I'm not buying that, Steve. Do you really think that? Do you think he's that mental?
I do, and I think it's very worrying.
Porto 3, Manchester United 3. Another disappointing performance for Manchester United. 1 win in their last 10 European games now. I'm joined by Stephen Howson. Just, why can't United win games? Regardless of performance for now, we'll get to that. Why can't we win games?
Partially. Probably a few things at play here. I think the main issue that we've had for the entire season so far is that we're not scoring.
Yeah.
Now, I think in last couple of games, maybe not the Spurs game, but like we've had better chance creation. We had 29 shots tonight. That's enough to win a game. So then what else is it? Well, you concede 3 goals, you don't fucking deserve to win games. And I think wrapped all within that, like a nice Viscount biscuit, is game management. You get yourself 2-0 up away from home. What was it, 20 minutes into the fucking game? You know, where's maybe the sideline has got to take a little bit of a hit on this one, but the players that are on the pitch, there is enough experience in that team. Jesus, like, what kids are there in that starting 11? Ginamad. Hoyland, maybe, but like, there's enough people there who know football, I presume, to be able to go, hey, we're not even leaving our fucking half this next 25 minutes, and we're going to go in at half-time with a clean sheet, high five, and see what the Baldy's got to say. Like, that's how it should have gone down. This is professional football. They are paid to win football matches. You know, you're not here to build a fucking highlight reel for YouTube. You are there to make sure you come away with 3 points, and they didn't do that. So I think they've got to be better at managing the fucking game and doing the correct thing.
I mean, it felt like we had some of that in that first season. The Carabao Cup final is a great example of that. We scored 2 goals, and not for a second did I think Newcastle were getting back into that game. It never even crossed my mind that we wouldn't win. And since then, especially last season, and it's carried on this season, no lead feels safe. And just to exemplify that point, Rob Dawson tweeted, this was before the end of the game, he said, just in Europe since the start of last season, United have conceded 2 goals in 4 minutes against Bayern, 2 goals in 10 minutes against Galatasaray, 2 in 4 minutes against Copenhagen, 2 in 9 minutes versus Galatasaray, and 2 in 7 minutes versus Porto today. This is not just holding on to leads, but these quick, just complete capitulations, multiple goals, many times. Like you said, we didn't get out of the group stage last season, so there's not a huge sample size here. That's most of our European games since the start of last season. At some point, we've conceded 2 goals very quickly. How do you explain that? I mean, it's not your job to fix it or to explain it really, but that has to be a confidence thing. But the manager has to take, like you said, some responsibility for the frequency that we crumble. It's not just that we do it, it's all the time, especially in Europe.
Yeah, especially when we seem to get our noses in front. Like I said, like, was there not a conversation on the team bus on the way to the ground? Like, was there not, at no point anyone pulled up a presentation in training and gone, lads, here's what you do if you find yourself 2-0 up. You're all injured. You all need to tie your laces. You all need to fucking dosh it out for a throw-in. You all need to ask the referee if this ball's pumped up. You all need to just do whatever the fuck it is. Just channel your inner Mourinho and just fuck everyone around until half-time. This is your job. Your job is to win football matches. You need to understand, know, and love the dark arts. You need to look like a combination of Sergio Ramos and fucking Jose Mourinho on their worst days and figure it out. That's what you need to do. Because United go 2-0 up, and it honestly, it's almost like we just decide to make it fucking interesting, innit?
Yeah. Another stat for you. Since Erik ten Hag joined Man United in 2022, no Premier League club has conceded 3 or more goals in a match more times in all competitions than United have. We've conceded 3 or more 24 times. The shape at times today, and you know, let me know if you think it's the same problem that we're seeing. But whatever the changes and the tactics, did you see a change in tactics? And if so, how does it always seem to lead to United have conceded 3 goals?
Yeah, I did see a change in tactics actually, and one that I've been really hoping and praying for, which is we didn't press with the same shape with that forward six. It was different. We saw the midfield change almost to a midfield three. And I thought it looked quite effective. And I thought it stopped the transitions coming through the middle. Now, we still got transitioned on. The defence got roasted, in all honesty. Like, instead of going through the middle, like, what happened against Spurs is the midfield vacated and said, hey, go run at that defence.
Yeah.
And they did. Whereas that didn't happen tonight. Porto went, hey, let's go over the top of that defence or around the corner of that defence, and got in behind us. So we kind of fixed one problem and made another one. Or Porto at least figured out what we'd done and decided to go a different route anyway. Or maybe they just had blisteringly quick players that caused us all sorts of problems. Probably a little bit of both, if we're being real.
It's a shame, isn't it, that regardless of what we do and what we try, it just ends up looking the same. I know it doesn't look the same man for man, position for position, but like, you come out of it and it's very few wins in a very large number of games, a very large number of goals conceded, the number of shots, the lack of, like, all of the stats and the sort of pundit talking points, they might tweak slightly, but then it sort of all feels the same. We can't shake it. We can't shake last season and these performances under this manager. Does it feel like we're just seeing a sort of futile exercise of doing just barely enough to keep your job week by week? Maybe that draw will be slightly different to a loss. 3-3 is better than 3-2. Does it feel like Ten Hag could possibly turn this around? When have managers ever got to this point, at United or otherwise, and turned this around? I'm really struggling. Like, I would keep him. I think you got to the end of the season and we're not going to worry about it. That'd be what I'd do, and maybe wrongly. But I can't think of a time I've ever seen a manager come back from this. Can you?
Yeah, Arteta.
Did he? Was it this bad? For this long,
was
it?
It was
Bloody
worse.
hell.
It was worse. And also, Fergie.
That was 40,
Terra,
35
3 years of
ago.
excuses, and it's still crap. Terra, Fergie.
Yeah.
But do you know why you don't see many get into this? Premier League managers don't last long enough for people to make it bad and turn it around. Because the second it hits any sort of speed bump, we're out the fucking door. Like, no one perseveres through that period to find out if there's gold on the other side of it, because they just fuck them off. And I see so many people saying, oh, that's the way modern football is now. That's the way football's always been. But when you do persist with a manager, give them a little bit of time, generally you do see a little bit of something turning up. Like, I don't think 2 years is too long. I really don't. I don't think it's that long in the slightest. I think every manager, I'm not just talking Ten Hag, I think every manager requires more time. Unless you're obviously shit. And some people are going to go, well, Ten Hag's obviously shit. All right, if that's what you think, that's what you think. But, like, you know, Steven Gerrard doing an obviously shit job trying to take Aston Villa down to the Championship. You know, a competent manager comes in and they're doing very well.
It's horrible, isn't it? It is horrible. Like, just what... I know it's not about the game, but what are you feeling like at the minute as a United fan? Because I hate this period. When you think there's probably a 75% chance Ten Hag don't make it past the international break. Isn't it just horrible, this?
The two most dangerous times as a football manager is new owners and international breaks.
Yeah.
And we've got an international break and still pretty new owners, really.
It's not looking good, is it? It's not looking good. For God's sakes, dude. It's all getting big.
It's just a question. Just a question. Can't even ask you how you think going to do.
I don't even know how they edit this. One last question and then we'll get out of here. Marcus Rashford. Right. Silent. Can you just mute him for a minute while I get this question out? Marcus Rashford comes off at half-time. Ten Hag says
fucking
it's rotation.
Rotated, Joe.
But that makes no sense to me. What has gone on there? What could possibly have gone on there?
I've just found out. I did all my stuff presuming he was fucking injured, and I just saw the quote. We got to rotate. Erik, our kid, you're not helping yourself here, are you?
But that's a lie, isn't it? That can't. He's not telling the truth there, is he? You don't hook the person who's got a goal and assist at half time unless you were disappointed with their defensive output, or there was an argument, or there was an injury.
He won 4 out of 4 of his duels. He created a chance. He scored a goal. But I think he goes, fucking hell, we need him for weekend. But
no,
Jesus, you need to win tonight.
That can't be. I don't believe that. I can't believe that. There's no way that it wasn't either. He was unhappy with defensively. Something's been said at half time. Surely, we're 2-2 at half time. It's not like we're still 2-0 up. Then I could maybe get it. Even then, it's short sighted. But what? He's so good that we fucking take him off when we're drawing a game that if we lose, I'm sacked. I'm not buying that, Steve. Do you really think that? Do you think he's that mental?
I do, and I think it's very worrying as well at the same time. This is, you're starting entering into David Moyes territory. You go, he's not said that, has he?
I think he has to. I mean, I honestly hope he's covering something there. I hope that he's saying that to cover an argument or cover the fact that he didn't like Rashford's defensive output for their goals or something. Because if he just thought, yeah, let's give him a rest.
Well, yeah, to be fair, he did do well defensively, stats-wise, but there's no stat for not blocking the cross.
Yeah.
And he didn't block the cross.
I'm going to ask you the question I asked you after the Tottenham game. Do you expect Ten Hag to be here after the international break?
1 in 4 chance, I think.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Right, thank you for joining us.
He needs a really good performance against Villa with a win. And I don't know if you're getting either or both of those things.
No, me neither. Cheers, Steve. Thank you for joining us at home. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Porto 3, Manchester United 3. See you in a bit.